And one of the things that has been, I think, kind of hideous, that you don't see in other species in the animal kingdom, is the desire to inflict punishment and pain as a way of controlling people. This happens at so many levels. It can happen in the primary school when, let's say, a child acts out. For the most part, teachers no longer strike students with wooden objects, at least not in the Western part of the world. But some of you are old enough to remember when that happened. Or now it goes more toward, or even this is gotten better, but then there was a time where children were shamed. You know, you didn't give the right answer. So to cause pain by shaming was thought that it would bring the child along. Now, to some degree, it is, you know, there has to be some conformity in this classroom, of course, but it is a rare teacher who can have the conformity be around a searching mind. You know, I think it was a sad day when teachers began teaching for the tests. There will be standardized tests that are, let's say, all around the country or maybe around the continent or whatever. And so you have to get those questions right. So we teach for the test, rather than really encouraging deep inquiry into the mystery of life. How do tomatoes grow? How is it that when you shear the sheep, all that wool grows back? These are things that most adults don't even question. In fact, most people don't grow their own tomatoes. They go to the grocery store. And I can tell you, in urban centers, there are children who think tomatoes come from the grocery store. Milk comes from the grocery store. There's been this disconnection with reality, the physical reality that supports you. Now, this is part of this over-urbanization thing. And yet we understand why it happens. There are more opportunities for people, perhaps in urban settings than there are in rural settings. Although since the pandemic, what has happened? More people have left the huge urban areas and moved into areas that are much more rural. And with this comes this interesting commingling of morphogenetic fields. Because you see, people bring the culture of the field they were in with them if they move. And it may be at odds with the area into which they move. And others leave the urban area because the morphogenetic field doesn't support their beliefs. And they come to a more rural thing because of various specifics. Now, hear this. One is not good and the other bad. Both have wholesome elements and problematic elements. It's just life. But what you're really trying to learn, and I think this is one of the reasons, you know, the population is so huge on the planet, you're really trying to learn how to get along with each other, how to love.